Ciao, my friends. It's time to show you how I make my brioche buns. Let's go. All right, my friends, you know when I make any kind of bread, I'm going to use a scale, but I know I have a lot of scaredy cats out there. They don't like to use a scale. I don't know why, but I'm going to be nice this time, and I'm going to give you grams and cup measurements. All right, see how nice I am? I have to clean more cups because I had to convert everything into cups for you. So now I'm going to combine the milk and the water. I'm doing half milk and half water for the hydration for this brioche recipe. So I'm going to combine these two, and then I'm going to heat them up in the microwave to about 110 degrees. All right, so my thermometer is reading about 105 degrees. That's fine. It could range between 108 to 113, but no more than 113 to proof yeast. So I'm going to add my yeast into this cup and let it bloom for about 10 minutes. I'm also going to add in some sugar to feed it. And I'm going to let that sit till it gets nice and foamy. In the meantime, while that's blooming, I'm going to add my bread flour. I'm using bread flour whenever I make any kind of bread. It just has a higher protein content and you get a better chew out of the bread. If you don't have bread flour, that's okay. You can use all-purpose flour. It'll work just as well. But I prefer bread flour, so I'm going to use that. So I've already measured it out. This is 500 grams, to be precise, 506 grams, which is 3.5 cups of bread flour. Now, make sure when you're measuring it, you're doing the spoon and level method of measuring flour. If you just scoop it and pack it in there, you're going to get a dense bread because it's going to be a lot more flour than you need. So make sure you do that when you're measuring your flour by cups. To the flour, I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt, which is about 10 grams of salt. It's 10 grams for every 500 grams of flour. So that's the general rule when you're making bread. So that's equates to about 1.5 teaspoons. That's why I don't like using teaspoons and cups because it's not precise, but it's close enough. I'm going to give that a little mix just to get the salt and flour together. I'm also going to add 1 room temperature egg, which I calculated as part of the hydration for this recipe. So I weighed this egg. It weighs about 57 grams. So I need 350 grams of liquids for this bread. So I subtracted 50 grams from my 350, and that's how I got that calculation, if you care. Or you could just follow my recipe. All right, my yeast is all foamy. So we're going to add that right in. And now we're going to get to the mixing part. So let's go. So we're going to start mixing till the dough starts to really come together. We start off slow. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. At this point, you want to let it mix for a bit. You want the dough to really come together. And once the dough is together, we're going to slowly add in our room temperature butter. Once the dough looks like this, we're going to start the mixer on slow and add a total of 3 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon at a time. I'm just going to drop that in and let that fully get incorporated into the dough before I add another tablespoon. So this is an important step or the dough will start to break and you don't want that. So once you get to the point where you don't see that butter anymore and it looks like it's incorporated into the dough, that's when you're going to add your second tablespoon of butter. And you're just going to repeat that until you run out of butter. So now that all the butter has been incorporated, I'm going to let this mix on a medium speed for about 5 minutes to develop the gluten. So what I'm going to do is I've sped up the mixer and now I'm just going to watch for it to release from the sides of the bowl for the most part. After it should happen after 5 minutes, but it could take a little longer. Now that it's done mixing, it's been about 5 minutes. It's released from the sides of the bowl. It's nice and tender. I'm going to cover this and let it rise for about 2 hours. So I'm just going to scrape down the sides of the bowl here, cover it with my bowl cover, and wait for it to double in size about 2 hours. 2 hours have passed and it has doubled in size. I'm just going to deflate it now, and we're going to work on shaping the brioche buns. Okay, my friends, it's time to divide your dough into your little brioche buns. So what I like to do is scrape it out. Okay, put it on the scale, zero the scale out, and then weigh the whole dough. So that's 906 grams. So I'm going to divide that by how many buns I'm going to make. So today I'm going to make 8 buns. So you divide 906 by 8, and then you get the weight for each bun. So you get the same size bun every time. So I have my silicone mat here. I like to use that. It's easier than pulling out my big kneading board. I'm just going to sprinkle it with some flour and scoop my dough out of the bowl. All right, so I calculated about 113 grams per dough ball. That's how I'm going to get nice, even brioche buns. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball 8 pieces and then weigh each piece and adjust. So I just want to show you the tail end of what I'm doing. I'm basically weighing each dough piece and then adding little pieces to get to the 113 that I need to be at. And then we're going to form our little brioche buns. We have 8 brioche buns, and now it's time to form them. All right, this looks like sort of a mess, but we're gonna fix that right now. Okay, so we have our 8 pieces of dough. So when you form a dough ball, you want to start by doing this. Okay, smooth it out on the top, flip it over, and then you're going to start closing the seams here like this. All right, then clean off your surface, put it down, and start smoothing it out. You want to have a nice, smooth little dough ball. All right, and that's number 1. I'm going to show you that again. We're going to smooth it out on top, flip it over, start bringing the seams together, just like that, and then smooth it out on your surface. And there you have it. I want to show you another way. I just realized there's another way I like to do this. I like to sort of lay it on my surface, bring the ends in this way. That naturally smooths out the top surface. Okay, flip it over and start sort of pulling it towards myself to create tension on the skin. This is what I do with pizza dough. And then I kind of do this. And that's another way to sort of form it. All right, now I've formed all my buns. I have 6 on one baking sheet. I don't want them to be too close together because then when they expand in the oven, they may stick together. So I put 6 on one and 2 on another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a damp kitchen towel and cover it. And the way I dampen the kitchen towel is first I cover the buns. And I actually had to go get my spray bottle because I forgot it. So I'm going to use my spray bottle that I use in all my sourdough baking just to get the kitchen towel a little damp. And you want to do this because you don't want the buns to form a skin because then they won't expand nicely in the oven. So you want to just have something damp on top of it or cover it with plastic wrap. Sometimes the plastic wrap will stick to the buns, and when you go to pull it off, they deflate all that nice rise when they go to set for the second rise. So I don't do that. I like to use a kitchen towel and just kind of spray it. So I'm going to let these rise. I'm going to say for about 30 minutes. I'll see how puffy they are. If they're not puffy enough, I'll probably wait another 15 minutes. You want them to be nice and puffy before you put them in the oven so you get those nice little pillows of brioche bun. In the meantime, I am preheating my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put the buns near the oven so the heat that the oven is letting out will sort of help them rise a little faster. All right, friends, it's been 30 minutes. They look nice and puffy. So now it's time to brush them with egg wash, which is just 1 egg and a little bit of water. And I'm just going to whisk those two things together. And I have my little pastry brush here. And I'm just going to wipe off the excess and lightly brush them. This will make them nice and golden brown in the oven. And so if you want to add some toppings at this point, this is when you would do it, when the egg wash is wet. So I'm just going to brush them all. Okay, and now I have some sesame seeds. You could do everything but the bagel seasoning. You could do whatever you like. I'm just going to do plain sesame seeds on half and half without, because my kids don't like sesame seeds. So you just want to kind of be liberal. Now you can toast your sesame seeds prior to adding them on. I don't. I just leave them raw. Okay. So these are going to go into an oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes or until they're golden brown and nice and toasty on the outside. And then I'll show you what they look like when they're done. All right, my friends, they're out of the oven and they're beautiful. Look at that. So it took about 40 minutes, a little longer than I thought, just to get that nice golden color. So if you don't get the golden color in 30 minutes, it's okay to leave them in for another 10, just so that you get that nice sort of hamburger bun color. So they're really nice underneath too, not too dark. And I'm going to let these cool before I cut them open, but I do want to cut them open and show you what they look like inside. So I do want to mention one thing, because I do get this comment from time to time about the softness of the bun. Now, when they first come out of the oven, they're going to be not soft like the ones you get at the supermarket, okay? If you'd like to soften the outer shell a bit, let them completely cool and then place them into a plastic bag or a Ziploc bag overnight. So you might want to make these the night before, and that will soften the outside if you like that soft brioche texture. If you like it with a little bite, then you can use them right away. But if you want to soften them up, you might want to make them the day before, place them into a plastic bag, and let the shell soften just a little bit. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed today's video on how to make brioche buns for hamburgers and all kinds of sandwiches, not just for hamburgers. You could use it for anything. And actually, you can use the same recipe to make hot dog buns as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next video. Ciao, my friends.